Hello, welcome to Blooming True Podcast. I am your host, Tiffany Renee, and I want to talk to you today about what inspired this whole thing. It is episode 1, so what better way to start it off, right? I am absolutely fascinated with human beings. I'm absolutely fascinated with all things spirituality. I'm absolutely fascinated with this life experience and really with all of creation. And so when I look at, nature, when I look at human behavior, when I look at all of these things, I am able to see the similarities, the synergy, the ways in which the process of nature is not separate from our process. Hence the name Blooming True. I'll take the example of the rose. The rose starts as a seed, and the seed is in this dark space, it's in the soil, and that seed is nourished by all of the elements, by the earth itself, by the water, by all of these elements that pour into it, and it already is what it is. In that seed, it contains the blueprint for everything that it will be, right? And eventually that seed, it grows its roots, and those roots nourish it even more, and then eventually it sprouts, and that sprout rises up and it breaks through the soil, and it continues to grow leaves, and the buds sprout, and then you have the bloom of the rose itself. And to me, that is us. That is us. That is our life journey, I think, in a nutshell. The thing about human beings, though, is that somewhere along the way, we often forget who we are. And some say we're born with the veil. No, I think it's something that we learn, right? I think there's a level of forgetfulness that we actually inherit. Because I think we actually come into this world very knowing in a very different way. When you look at little kids, babies, and things like that, they're so aware. We think they have imaginary friends, and no, they just tapped into, the multiverse in a way that we ourselves have rationalized out of our experience as adults. This is what I believe. And we spend a lot of our lives trying to figure out who we are. And we wrap our identities, we wrap that who we are into what we do. So it's like we make, our jobs, what we do, our roles in our families or our communities, who we are. And we make our jobs who we are. We make all of these things a part of our identity when they are our contributions, things we do, but they're not who we are. And then, we have experienced these moments of anxiety and frustration and all of these things because we're a lot of the times just doing the things and acting in ways that we think we should according to our cultures, the communities we come from, according to, the families we come from. All of these things contribute to how we perceive ourselves and our roles in this epic story we call life. And then we get to a point, some of us, where we say, you know what? Something's not right here. This is not okay. I don't really like my life right now. I don't really like this situation. And it's okay to say that. It's okay to realize what you're not passionate about, right? Because that's a compass. And then we start to strip away, like, oh, I had this idea that I really wanted to be a doctor, but really, that's all I was ever fed. I mean, I came from a family of doctors, and it was really expected. My family, they expected me to take on this role, and now I'm in it, and I'm not really happy with it. I'm not really okay with this because this doesn't feel right to me, you know? And so, if we're brave enough, we decide to let it go. Take off one layer of this mask, these old tattered clothes, costume we've been wearing that was handed down to us, right? And then, you know, there might be something else. Oh, this relationship that I'm in, like, I was in it because it just looked really good. This person, you know, they have their head on straight. You know, we have our career goals. It's all good, fine, and well. Like, this is great. This is who I need to be with. This is who I should be with. It's great. I don't have anything to really worry about. But really, for whatever reason, you get this feeling in your gut that something just isn't right, and you don't necessarily really connect with this person, right? And then you have to just ask yourself some other questions. Whether or not you just placed that person in that position because it was the right time for you, so to speak. You felt as though it was the right time and the right person and just a puzzle piece that made the most sense. And so maybe you've rounded the corners on that puzzle piece to make it fit a little bit better into the grand scheme of things. There's a lot of noise going on right now in the background. I am recording this in my apartment. There's no insulation, so you may hear some of this in the background, and you may not, but I'm just letting you know that now because I am very aware of it. And my mic is pretty strong, so. But anyway, we do all these things. And we go through this process of letting go, of surrendering, you know, all the costumes, all the masks, all these things that we've worn for so long that we then, once we become aware of them, they feel heavy. They feel like, oh, this is not just gross, you know. And so we begin that process of shedding and getting more and more in tune and in line with our own voice, with our own heartbeat, with our own compass. And then we start to ask those questions again. Well, who am I? And here's the thing about the rose. Going back to that, the rose knows that it's a rose. It doesn't compare itself to any other bloom. It goes through its process. It grows through its process. It reaches for the sun. It's happy to share its beauty and its medicine and all of those things. But it knows who it is, its contribution, all of those things. And it's perfect in its expression, you know. And when I look at that, when I look at that, and I look at human beings, us, this, all these ideas we have around this search, this quest, right? Eventually we get to that point, I think. Some of us, if it's meant for us in a particular lifetime, I do believe we get to the point. We're all driving to this point of knowing I am divine. And knowing that my contribution, it just is. It is in my being. My purpose is in my being. My being is enough. Because through the process of realization and not becoming, but through the process of realization of who we truly are, there's so much we gain along that way. There's so many jewels, treasures that we gain along the way that come in so many different forms, and I'm going to call them virtues. Patience and compassion and, generosity and all of these things. And we go at our own pace. But that moment of absolute realization, that is liberation to me. That is absolute liberation, to just stand firmly in who you are and to know it. I'm getting the picture of bamboo and how, it's such a strong, plant. And it bends, but it doesn't break. It's so strong, yet it's so flexible. So that is the inspiration for blooming true. And I want to talk about that. I want to share, what ways in which I am having that experience and my own experience in sharing that. And I want to also have other people on, and I want them to talk about what their experience is, how they're blooming, what stage, what season are they in, how they honor those seasons and all of these things, because I think it's fun. And so that's what you can expect with this. The stories of blooming true. And I believe as a collective, all of us have different ways of exploring that. And it's time that we allow each other that sacred space of expression, of truth. Why not? And not make any one journey or expression wrong, any space or stage or season wrong or right or anything like that. It's just, this is a safe space of expression. Truth. So, with all that being said, this is a YouTube exclusive, and I will release one episode every Friday of each week. And yeah, I invite you to share, to comment, to like. Let me know, what you want to talk about. Let me know, what's happening in your experience right now. I'm open to it all. I'm excited for this journey. And I am so grateful that you're here. I'm so grateful that you've taken this time to be here, to commune. Let's do this. I send you blessings wherever you are. Whatever you're doing right now, I just send you blessings. Love and gratitude. Take care.